Right, so I get asked a lot of the time about supplements that I take when I'm dieting or doing a show or something like that. So I thought I'd go over what I take, why I take them, what they actually do, and just sort of give you a bit of an overview of them really, because when you're looking online there's so many supplements out there and you sort of get lost in sort of knowing what you want or what you need. Basically the definition of a supplement is a thing added to something else in order to enhance it or complete it. So that couldn't be more true when it comes to supplements, whether you want to lose weight or gain muscle mass or anything like that. I'm not saying take all these supplements, you don't need them. You can get everything in from your food. You can make great gains just from eating food and getting your right nutrition in. But unless you're a nutritionist, you probably won't know exactly what to get in. So a supplement is just basically something to help you get the right nutrition in that you can't really get in through your food. So I'm not saying you need to take all these. All I'm giving you is what they are and why I take them or why you should be taking them. But yeah, so a quick overview about me. I've been training since about 13, 14, doing like bodyweight exercises in my bedroom and that. And then from there I started at a junior gym at about 15. I fell in love with training. I wanted to train for something, so I decided to do a natural bodybuilding show. I am still natural. I've never took a performance enhancing drug or anything like that. So from natural bodybuilding I went into fitness model shows, which is what I'm still doing now. But I've never took anything. I'm competing now in shows that aren't tested, so anyone can be taking anything. Which is why I take supplements, because I need every advantage that I can get. So this is why I take them. So I'll go over everything, why you might need to be taking them, why you might not. So number one is whey protein. So I usually have about 1 scoop of this a day if I'm dieting. If I'm not dieting, sometimes I don't even have it, I get it in through my food. Protein is basically, when you're training, you aim, like if you're working out with weights or doing exercise like that, your aim is to tear your muscle, so you go to failure on things, you really work your muscle hard and you tear it. Your muscle's mainly made up of protein, so when you tear it, protein is the thing that repairs it. So that's what makes it bigger, because it's tearing it and then repairing it, so it makes it bigger. Most people don't get enough protein in through the diet, unless you're tracking your calories and things like that. I'd probably say people that don't know about counting your calories and things get well under the amount of protein anyway. So what is recommended to be making lean muscle mass is 1 pound of body weight to 1 gram of protein, which majority of people aren't doing unless you know about nutrition and training and things like that. So it is quite hard to get that, because I weigh probably about 185 pounds. I do get more than 180 grams of protein in, but I'm very active, so I usually get about 220 in. But to get that in purely from food is quite hard. You'd have to eat a lot of chicken, a lot of steak, things like that. So just having a scoop of that a day just boosts it up. I usually put it in my oats, tastes nice, but yeah, I'd have a look into how much protein you're eating if you're looking at getting some, but I'd highly recommend Gold Standard Whey. It tastes amazing. It's the #1 best selling protein in the world, so it's obviously doing something right. Amazon are actually selling it for our price at the minute, so I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that out. But that is banging good stuff. I'd recommend the chocolate mint or any of them. They're all nice. So that's #1. Number 2 is creatine. This isn't actually creatine. We'll pretend it's creatine. It's actually pre-workout with coins. But creatine is basically an amino acid that you get from things like, from red meat really, you mainly get it in. But so you get it in steak, but the quantities that you get it of probably aren't, they're not big enough to see good results from it. So creatine's got so many like beneficials to taking it, which like strength, power, endurance to your training. recovery time. So it's really beneficial to be having creatine. Loads of people make really good gains just from adding creatine to the nutrition. So I would recommend creatine. You don't need it, but you don't get enough in through the food that you're taking in. Even if you're eating a couple of steaks a day, you're probably still not getting enough in. So creatine is a great supplement because again, you can't get it in through your food as well as you can just from taking a scoop a day. It's not expensive. It's great stuff. Like just mix it with your pre-workout or mix it with a bit of water before you train, and it can really that is a powerful one for changing you up. So I would recommend creatine. A lot of proteins do have creatine in though, so check that and you can get 2 for 1. But this does have a bit of creatine in, but I'd recommend getting that with something else. Well, that's your choice. So that's creatine. So number 3 then is BCAA'S, or branched chain amino acids, what it stands for. So like I said earlier, creatine is an amino acid. So amino acids do work in a very similar way to creatine. They're good for, they can increase endurance, strength, power, but they also help with things inside your body like health reasons, and another one is protein synthesis, so how quickly your body digests its protein. So another recommend, these also come in protein, so this whey protein has 5.5 grams of amino acids per serving. So you get them in that, but I also take these sometimes. They just help, they do help with recovery as well, so I have these sometimes in my drinks through the gym. But I don't take them all the time, just I mix everything up, I don't rely on anything. So one of the massive things that I would recommend anyone taking if they're not getting a lot of fruit, veg, things like that in, is vitamin and mineral tablets. And I'd highly recommend these ones by Olymp Sports Nutrition. And they're just called vitamin. But basically with these you get 1 vitamin tablet and 1 mineral tablet to take every day. The big tablets have got a lot in it. You can see, like, you can't see on the camera, but the amount of different stuff they've got in. So the one you take on the morning gives you energy, and the one you take at night helps you sleep. But there's so many more benefits to this. But what I would say is the health reasons, the health things that you get from them, they keep you happy, they keep you awake, they keep you healthy, they keep, like, if you get an illness or an injury whilst you're trying to diet, that's going to put you back more than anything. So one way of preventing that is to stay healthy, so getting your vitamins and your minerals in. If you get them in through your food, good, but I'd highly recommend them because you just don't need to worry about having to get your 5 or 10 in a day, whatever it is now. So I'd highly recommend them ones. You can get them on Amazon as well. So I think nearly all this you can. Number 5 then is fish oils, or omega-3s. These are like a super strength one because I really take my health serious. But they're really good. Like the amount of things that these boost, like they're good for your skin, good for your hair, good for your brain, fish oils, so loads of benefits to them. But again, they're just good for keeping you healthy. I can't stress how important it is not to get an illness while you're trying to diet, because you're just not going to make any gains, or you're not going to lose weight, or whatever your goal is, it's going to prevent it so much. So mixing them with them, just taking the tablets in the morning, it's so beneficial in the long run to stop you, like everything really. Number 6 then, now this is fat burner. Fat burners, I'll go into how they work. So basically a fat burner, you can't just take a fat burning pill and expect to lose weight. That's not how they work. You still have to really do your work. They work with you if you're working hard. So basically the way that they work, they increase your body temperature, and doing that makes you sweat more. So, but you're not going to sweat more if you're not working out more. So you'll find that if you take a fat burner, you are in the gym, like it gives you energy, you feel good, but you're sweating, you feel hot, and that's how they work. They go hand in hand, so you can't just take one and expect to lose weight. You need to take one and still do the same amount, still really work hard, and they do really work. I've used Grenade thermogenic fat burners. I use these because you need to be really careful, because some have some dodgy ingredients. They're quite they've got a lot of green tea extract in, and they're all natural ingredients, these ones, so that's why I'd recommend them. But if you've never taken them before, only take one at a time until your tolerance builds up, and probably ask your doctor, because if you've got any heart conditions, they just you're better off getting checked out with these, and that's the same with pre-workout, which I'll come to. So, pre-workout, you can use any pre-workout really, but there's nothing that'll change your gym sessions up like pre-workout. I'm a big advocate of it. You don't want to have it all the time, you don't want to become reliant on it, which I have over time, so I wouldn't recommend that, because I don't like training now without some sort of stimulant before I train. Pre-workout, like, you can be having a bad day, you can have a long day at work, and as soon as you get that pre-workout down, like, your gym sessions just fly through. If you get a good one, and like, you've got to be really careful again with pre-workouts, like fat burners. Some of them have got dodgy ingredients in. I'd just go for like an Optimum Nutrition pre-workout, because you know they're going to be good, you know they're going to be tested, everything like that. They're not going to have any dodgy ingredients in. But yeah, you need to be careful with. But I'd highly recommend them if you're finding your training sessions hard and you're not as enthusiastic as you were, because they've got beta-alanine in as well as caffeine and taurine, depending on what you're taking. And beta-alanine is really good for focus, and I know that sometimes when I take it, I listen to my music and I'm just in the zone, and pre-workout does help with that feeling, so it's a good supplement to take. Next up, protein bars. I'm going to pretend this is a protein bar because I'm not dieting in a minute, so I don't have any, and I have chocolate in the house. So protein bars, you don't need them, they're just an accessory really, they taste amazing. So the main reason I recommend them, if you're like me and you've got a massive sweet tooth, I struggle like staying away from chocolate and things like that, so protein bars are a great alternative for this. They taste amazing. The only thing with them, they're expensive, but I'd recommend grenade bars. They taste amazing. They're low in fat, they're low in carbs, high in protein, and they're just a great way to get your extra protein in if you're not getting it in through your meals. So yeah, protein bars are a good accessory really, not needed, but if you've got, they're expensive, so if you've got the money, get them, but if you've not, sometimes I swap them out for Snickers as well, because you can get 4 Snickers for £1. They're a bit higher in fat, lower in protein, so depends what your goal is really, but yeah. So that is all the protein and supplements and things like that I take. Like I say, you don't need any of them, you can get them through your food, but hopefully you now know which ones you might need to take. So I'll put a link in the description. I think you can get every single one of these on Amazon. So I'll put a link in the description to all of them. If you want them, go get them. So hope that helped, and stay active.